Now we'll discuss Prazosin, or the brand name of Prazosin is a Prazopress. It is available in 0.5, 1 and 2 milligram tablet. Prazosin. So it's the first highly selective alpha 1 blocker. Prazosin is the first highly selective alpha 1 blocker. It is highly potent, as you can see the doses, it is highly potent and 1000 times greater affinity for the alpha 1 receptor. 1000 times greater affinity for alpha 1 receptors, and that's why we call it as a highly selective alpha 1 blocker, which is highly potent. So what is the mechanism of action? It blocks the sympathetically mediated vasoconstriction. It blocks sympathetically mediated vasoconstriction by blocking alpha 1 receptors. So there is a fall in blood pressure. Why there is a fall in blood pressure? And that's why we use in case of hypertension. So it blocks the sympathetically mediated vasoconstriction. Whenever there is a stimulation of sympathetic nervous system, there is a sympathetically mediated vasoconstriction. So it blocks the, by blocking alpha 1 receptor, by blocking the alpha 1 receptor, there is a fall in blood pressure. So basically it dilates arteries more than the veins. Means it's a vasodilator. It causes dilatation of arterioles as well as venodilatation, but it will dilate arteries more than veins. So because of arteriolodilatation, there is a decrease in the total peripheral resistance, and because of venodilatation, there is a decrease in the preload, and that's why there is decrease in the cardiac output. And because of decrease in the total peripheral resistance and decrease in the cardiac output, there is a fall in blood pressure, and that's why we use in the treatment of hypertension. But because of its selectivity, selective alpha 1 blocker, there is no significant tachycardia. Now why there is no significant tachycardia? As presynaptic alpha 2 receptors are not blocked, it will not going to act on the presynaptic alpha 2 receptor because it's a selective alpha 1 blocker. So presynaptic alpha 2 receptors are spared, or they are not blocked. So if they are not blocked, that means noradrenaline release is not increased. Noradrenaline release is not increased. It will remain in control, and so that no tachycardia, or we can say mild tachycardia, no tachycardia or mild tachycardia is seen with the selective alpha 1 blocker. Now adverse effects or side effect, it is associated with the first dose effect or first dose phenomenon. Prazosin is associated with the first dose effect. Now what is this first dose effect or phenomenon? After 1 hour of initial dose, 1 hour after the initial dose, there is a marked postural hypotension, and that may lead to fainting, dizziness and headache. First dose effect is after 1 hour of administration of drug, there is a marked postural hypotension, and because of that postural hypotension there is fainting, dizziness and headache, and that is called as first dose effect. Now to avoid the first dose effect, what we have to do, start prazosin with a low dose. Means you have to start with only 0.5 milligram, and preferably it is given at the bedtime to avoid this first dose effect. Now what are the other actions of this prazosin? It inhibits the phosphodiesterase enzyme. So if it inhibits phosphodiesterase enzyme, that phosphodiesterase enzyme that degrades cyclic AMP, which is a second messenger for the smooth muscles. So it inhibits phosphodiesterase enzyme so that it will not going to degrade cyclic AMP. So increase level of cyclic AMP in the smooth muscle. So it will contribute to its vasodilator effect because there is increase in the cyclic AMP in the smooth muscle. Why? Because this phosphodiesterase enzyme generally degrades cyclic AMP. If we inhibit this phosphodiesterase enzyme, there is more and more secretion of cyclic AMP in the smooth muscle. So it will contribute to its vasodilator effect. Now it will improve the blood lipid profile level. It will improve the blood lipid profile level by decreasing the LDL and triglyceride level and by increasing the HDL cholesterol. It decreases the LDL cholesterol and triglyceride, and it increases the HDL cholesterol. So it will improve the blood lipid profile level. It improves the carbohydrate metabolism. It improves the carbohydrate metabolism. It improves the blood lipid profile, and it is also useful in benign prostatic hypertrophy. It is also useful in benign prostatic hypertrophy by relaxing urinary bladder neck and prostatic capsule. They are also used in the treatment of benign prostatic hypertrophy.